The cargo bay was silent except for the hum of the engines. The lights flickered softly, shadows dancing across the cold metal floor. A small figure trembled in the corner, her tiny hands clutching a torn cloth as if it could shield her from the world. She was no taller than a human child, but her eyes were wide and glowing, her skin pale like moonlight. She was a tiny alien, and in her heart only one thought repeated again and again. Please don't devour me. Her name was Leary. She had been hiding for hours, maybe days. Time blurred when fear was the only companion. The legends of her people echoed in her head. Humans were monsters. Humans were eaters. If they found a small alien like her, they would swallow her whole. The elders told her that humans smiled only to trick their prey. They said once humans caught you, there was no escape. A clang echoed in the bay. Leary froze, her heart pounded like thunder. Footsteps approached, heavy and certain. A shadow stretched across the floor. She pulled the cloth tighter and pressed herself against the wall. Her breath was sharp, her body shaking. The door hissed open and a tall figure stepped inside. It was a human. His boots clicked on the floor as he walked. His uniform was dark, his eyes sharp. He carried a datapad in one hand and looked around slowly. His gaze scanned the crates, the pipes, the corners, and then her. His eyes widened, just slightly. Leary's chest squeezed. A stowaway, he muttered. But his voice wasn't angry. It was curious, deep, steady. Leary whimpered and pressed her forehead to the ground. Please, please don't devour me, she whispered. The man froze, he blinked. Confused, slowly, he crouched, lowering himself so his face was closer to her level. He didn't reach for her. He didn't shout, his tone softened. What did you say? She shook her head violently. Her small body curled like a ball. I know what you are. You eat little ones like me. You tear us apart. That is what my people said. Please, please don't eat me. The man's face hardened, not with cruelty but with shock. He tilted his head, studying her. She looked so fragile, so small, as if the faintest touch could break her. Her words cut deeper than any blade. Another set of footsteps entered. A woman this time, tall. Wearing the same uniform, she saw Leary and gasped. Captain, it's a child. No, not a child, a tiny alien. The man, the captain, nodded slowly. Yes, she thinks we are. Monsters. Leary's hands clutched her cloth tighter. Her glowing eyes peeked out, full of terror. The woman knelt down as well. She placed something on the floor between them. A piece of bread, warm and fresh from the ship's kitchen. Here, the woman said gently. Eat, little one. You must be hungry. Leary stared at it, her stomach twisted with hunger. But fear held her in place. Was this a trick? The elders said humans lured victims with food. The moment she took it, they would strike. Her lips quivered, her voice cracked. Is this the poison? The woman's eyes softened. No, it is food. The same food we eat. If it were poison, I would not offer it. Watch. She broke the bread in half and took a bite, chewing calmly. Then she pushed the rest toward Leary. The smell filled the air, warm, safe. Leary's tiny hands trembled. She reached forward slowly. Every second stretched like forever. She snatched the bread and pulled it close. She nibbled it, waiting for the pain, waiting for death, but nothing came. The taste was sweet, soft. Her eyes widened in disbelief. The captain's voice was calm but firm. We are not here to hurt you, little one. You are safe on this ship. Her breath hitched. Her chest ached with confusion. She wanted to believe him. But the voices of her people screamed in her head. Humans devour, humans deceive, humans destroy. She dropped the bread, curled tighter. No, it cannot be true. You will eat me when I sleep. You will. The captain stood, his shadow long over her for a moment. The legend seemed real. He looked so big, so powerful. His eyes glimmered under the dim light. He reached out his hand, not to grab, but open, calm, steady. I promise you, no one here will devour you. The silence grew heavy. Her heart raced. The hum of the ship filled the air. Slowly, her glowing eyes lifted. She stared at his hand. Her fear clashed with hunger, with exhaustion, with a faint spark of hope. She whispered again, her voice almost broken. If you don't devour me, then what are you? The captain's lips curved into the smallest smile, but not the smile of a predator. It was soft, almost kind. We are explorers, we are humans, we do not eat friends. Her tiny body trembled. Her mind could not understand, but deep inside something shifted. A seed of doubt in the legends, a seed of trust in the impossible. And for the first time she did not run. She only stared at the human's hand, frozen between terror and wonder. The hum of the ship continued. But for Leary, the world had stopped, somewhere in her heart. The question grew louder than her fear. Maybe humans are not monsters at all. The crew gathered in the mess hall. The tiny alien sat at the edge of the table, her legs tucked close to her chest. Her eyes darted between every human in the room. Each smile, each laugh, every movement made her flinch. To her they were giants, and she was only prey. The captain sat across from her, his plate untouched. He leaned forward, his voice steady. "Tell me, little one, why do you think we devour?" Her name slipped out soft, as if she had not spoken it in years. "Leary," she whispered. "That is my name." She hugged her cloth tighter. "My people told me since I was born. Humans eat the small ones. Humans smile only to hide their teeth. Humans share food only to soften the meat." A silence spread through the humans. They looked at each other, some shocked, some even angry. The young engineer slammed his fist on the table. "Who told you this nonsense?" "We don't eat people." Leary shrank back, her glowing eyes watering. Her body shook. "You lie, that is what the elders said. They told us if we see a human we must run or beg or hide. If we fail, we will vanish into your mouths." The captain raised a hand. Calming his crew, his eyes never left hers. "Do you believe every word they tell you?" Her lips trembled. "Yes, because I have seen humans from far away. I saw them carry weapons, I saw them fight. I saw fire in the sky." She pulled her knees closer. "My uncle told me humans invaded worlds. He said you ate the weak first, and then took the rest." The room grew tense. A woman pilot leaned forward, her tone softer. "Listen, Leary, war is not the same as hunger. Humans fight, yes, but not to devour. We are not beasts." But the alien shook her head again and again. "You cannot fool me. You smile like the elders said you would. You give bread like they warned. You are waiting for me to close my eyes. Then you will devour me." Her words cut deeper than any blade. The humans exchanged glances, frustration mixing with pity. The captain sighed and leaned back. He spoke slowly, each word heavy. "Then prove us wrong, stay, watch us. If we are the monsters you believe, you will see it. If not, then maybe you will see the truth." Leary blinked. Her small chest rose and fell with fear. She looked around the table at the humans eating their bread, their soup, laughing softly. None of them looked like monsters, but fear is a strong chain. It wrapped around her heart later. In the quiet of the ship's corridors, Leary tried to escape. Her small feet padded softly on the metal floor. She slipped past doors, climbed through vents. She whispered to herself, "I must get away. I must find an escape pod before they eat me." But the ship was large, confusing, and every hallway felt endless. She turned a corner and froze. The captain stood there, waiting, his arms crossed. His face unreadable, her heart sank. "No. Please don't hurt me, don't devour me," she whispered, but he did not move closer. He only spoke, calm as always. "Where will you go, Leary? Out there is only the void. You cannot survive alone." Tears burned her eyes. She slid down the wall, her tiny frame shaking. I just don't want to be food." The captain knelt slowly. His shadow stretched over her, but his hand rested on his knee. "Open, steady, you are not food, you are not prey. You are someone's child, you are alive. That is all that matters to me." Her eyes lifted. Confused, his words were strange. No one had spoken like this before. For her people, survival meant running, hiding, obeying, but this human spoke as if her life mattered beyond fear. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small object. A hollow projector with a press, it flickered to life. Images appeared. Human families sitting together. Children laughing, parents holding babies. None were being eaten, none were prey, they were smiling. Playing safe, Leary's breath caught. "What is this?" The captain's voice was soft. "This is us, this is who we are. Monsters do not raise children with love. Monsters do not build homes. Monsters do not teach kindness." Her small fingers trembled as she touched the light. The images shifted. Ships flying, humans helping each other. Carrying supplies, tending wounds, her lips quivered. But why would my people lie?" The captain's eyes darkened. "That is the real question, Leary. Maybe someone wants you to fear us. Maybe someone profits from keeping you in chains." Her heart raced. Fear still clung to her, but doubt began to creep in. The stories of her people no longer fit with what she was seeing. Her voice cracked. "If it is true, then my people have been living in fear for nothing. The captain nodded slowly. Fear is a weapon, little one, stronger than any blade. If someone can make you believe humans are monsters, they control your life without lifting a hand. Leary hugged her cloth tighter. Her world felt broken. The legends that had guided her since birth now cracked under the weight of his words. She wanted to believe, yet terror still gnawed at her. The captain stood, his hand extended once more. Stay with us, watch with your own eyes. Let truth be your teacher, not fear. The silence was heavy. Her small hand hovered, shaking. She did not take his hand yet. But she did not run either, and for the first time, she whispered something different, not a plea, not a cry, but a question filled with fragile hope. If you are not monsters, then what are you really? The ship's dining hall was quiet that evening. The crew usually laughed and shared stories during meals, but tonight the air was heavy. Every eye shifted to the small figure sitting on the edge of a chair much too big for her. Leary's glowing eyes darted around the table. Her hands clutched tightly to her cloth as if it was her only shield. In front of her sat a plate. Steam rose from the food. Warm bread, soup, and small pieces of fruit. To a starving heart, it was heaven. But to Leary, it looked like a trap. The warnings of her elders burned in her mind. Never eat human food, it will change you. It will break your body until you are ready for them to feast. The captain sat across from her. Silent but watchful, he wanted her to see the truth with her own eyes. The engineer took a spoonful of soup and slurped loudly, smiling at her. See? Not poison, just food, but Leary flinched at the sound. Her tiny hands trembled. She whispered, This is how it begins. You will make me weak. Then you will devour me. The woman pilot leaned forward. Her tone gentle. Leary, look at me. She tore a piece of bread and ate it slowly, chewing with care. Then she pushed the plate closer to Leary. No tricks, no lies, just food you are free to eat or not. The smell was too strong. Leary's stomach growled loudly. Her cheeks burned with shame. She had not eaten properly in days. Maybe longer. Hunger fought against fear. Her glowing eyes watered. She reached out, then pulled back quickly, as if the bread might bite her. The captain spoke softly. No one here will force you. But you cannot survive only on fear. His words echoed in her chest. She took a shaky breath. Her fingers moved again. Slow like a frightened bird, she pinched a piece of bread, lifted it, and stared. She could almost hear her elders whispering, Foolish child, now they will swallow you whole. Her lips pressed tight. But then she took a small bite. The taste hit her tongue. Soft, warm, nothing like poison. Her eyes widened in shock. She chewed, then swallowed. She waited for pain, for fire, for death. But nothing came. Only warmth spread in her chest. The crew smiled quietly, careful not to scare her. The engineer muttered, See? Told you. Leary's breathing quickened. She looked at the bread, then at the humans. Her voice cracked. If it is not poison, if you do not devour me, then why are you so kind? The captain leaned forward, his eyes steady. Because kindness is not weakness, Leary. It is who we are. Her heart twisted. The legends were breaking inside her, piece by piece. She grabbed another bite, then another, until crumbs clung to her lips. Her glowing eyes softened for the first time. Hunger slowly replaced terror. But doubt still lingered, she whispered. Maybe you are only fattening me. Maybe you wait for the right moment. The pilot shook her head gently. If that were true, we would not share our food. We would not give our best to you. We eat together because we are family here. The word family stung her heart. Her people spoke of family, but family had left her to hide. Family had filled her head with fear. Yet here strangers offered warmth, bread and gentle words. When the meal ended, the crew stood and left one by one. The captain remained, his plate untouched. He watched as Leary licked the last of the fruit juice from her fingers. Her glowing eyes avoided his. Ashamed of her hunger, he spoke quietly. Do not fear your need, Leary. Hunger makes you alive, and food is meant to heal, not harm. Her chest tightened, tears pricked her eyes. For the first time since stepping onto the ship, she felt something strange. Safety. Fragile but real. As the lights dimmed in the hall, she whispered to herself, almost too soft to hear. Maybe humans are not monsters after all. The captain smiled faintly. He did not speak. He only let the silence carry her fragile hope into the night. The hum of the ship was steady as it drifted through the stars. Leary sat near the viewport. her glowing eyes fixed on the endless black sea of space. For the first time, she wasn't trembling. Bread still lingered in her memory, warm and soft. Her stomach was full, yet her heart was heavy. The captain stood a few steps behind her. Arms crossed, he didn't rush her. He knew she carried secrets. And secrets needed time to come out, finally, she whispered, her voice thin like wind. You do not devour, but then why would my people lie? The captain walked closer, stopping beside her. That is what I want to know, little one. Why fill your head with fear? Her small hands gripped the cloth she always held. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. When I was very small, the elders told stories. They gathered us under the red moon and spoke of humans. They said your ships were filled with fire. They said your hands were dripping with blood. They said you hunted the weak. Her voice cracked. I believed them, all of us did, but now I don't know what is true anymore. The pilot entered quietly. Setting a mug of warm drink on the table, she sat nearby, listening. The crew had been waiting for this moment. Leary pressed her cloth against her face, then lowered it. Her lips trembled. My world is dying. The air grows thin. The rivers are dry. The elders told us it was because humans poisoned the stars. They said if humans ever came, we must hide or fight, but her eyes flicked to the captain. What if it was not you? The captain's jaw tightened. He crouched beside her so their eyes met. Do you want the truth, Leary? Or do you want the comfort of the lies they gave you? Her breath caught. Truth was sharp, dangerous. But lies were safe, lies were familiar. Yet she nodded slowly. I want the truth, the engineer entered, holding something small, a bracelet made of strange metal. It had been found on Leary when they first discovered her. He placed it gently on the table. Captain, look at this. The bracelet flickered with faint light. The captain tapped it and a hologram bloomed above the table. Coordinates flashed, strange symbols. Maps of a system unknown to the humans, Leary gasped. Her tiny hands covered her mouth. That is the mark of my people. It is the Elder's seal. The pilot leaned forward. Then why would they hide coordinates in something you wear? Unless they wanted you to carry it unknowingly. Leary shook her head, confused. I never knew. They told me the bracelet was for protection. They said it kept humans away, but it is not protection. It is a map. The captain's eyes hardened. A map to what? Your world? Her glowing eyes filled with tears. Yes, my home. The place I left behind, but if this is true, then they tricked me. They tricked all of us. Silence filled the room. The humans exchanged uneasy looks. It was becoming clear. Leary's people had not been protecting themselves. They had been isolating themselves, feeding fear into every child. The captain placed a firm hand on the table. Then it is decided. We will go there. Leary's head snapped up. No, you cannot. The elders will kill you. They will kill me for speaking to you. They control everything with fear. The captain met her fear with calm. If they rule with lies, then someone must show them the truth. That is why we explore. That is why we cannot turn away. Her chest heaved. She wanted to stop them, but deep inside a spark lit up, a hope she never dared to feel. Maybe if her people saw what she saw, the fear would break. The pilot touched Leary's hand gently. Little one, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Not if we stand together. Leary's glowing eyes blinked. She looked at the bracelet again, at the map glowing faintly in the air. Her people were still under the chains of lies, and she was the first to see through it. Her voice came out as a whisper, fragile but fierce. If we go, then maybe the truth will set them free. The captain stood tall, his eyes fixed on the stars. Then prepare yourself, Leary. Tomorrow we follow these coordinates. The hum of the engines deepened. The ship shifted course. Leary pressed her cloth to her chest and stared into the void. Somewhere far away, her home waited. A place of fear, of lies. But maybe, just maybe, a place ready for truth, and for the first time, Leary did not pray for escape, she prayed for courage. The ship followed the new course, guided by the faint coordinates glowing from Leary's bracelet. Stars shifted outside the viewport, long trails of light stretching into the black. The crew worked quietly, tension resting heavy in the air. They knew they were flying toward danger, but no one said it aloud. Leary sat near the control panel, hugging her cloth tightly. Her glowing eyes flicked between the humans. Her fear was not only for herself now, it was for them. The elders will not welcome you, she whispered. They will send ships, they will call you monsters. They will kill you if they can. The captain looked down at her, calm as always. Then we will face them. Truth is worth the risk, the pilot gave a small smile. And besides, little one, we've fought worse than angry elders, but Leary did not smile. Her heart pounded. She remembered the patrol ships that circled her world. Sharp and merciless, they carried the elders' banners. They obeyed without question, and now they would be waiting. Hours passed. The ship drew closer to her home system. Her glowing eyes grew wide as the familiar stars appeared. There. My world is beyond those rings, she whispered, pointing through the glass. Before the crew could answer, alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the control room. Incoming vessels, the engineer shouted. His screen showed 6 ships closing in fast. The captain's voice was firm, steady. Shields up. Hold course, the patrol ships appeared. Sleek and dark, they moved like predators in water. Circling, weapons charged, a voice crackled through the comms. Harsh and commanding. This is restricted space. Turn back or be destroyed. The captain opened the channel. We mean no harm. We come with one of your own. We only wish to speak. Leary's small hands trembled. She pressed close to the screen. Please listen. I am Leary. I am from your world. But the voice on the comms grew colder. You travel with humans. They are deceivers. You are already lost to them. Stand down or perish. The ships moved closer. Their weapons glowing. The crew braced for battle. The pilot's hands hovered over controls. Captain. They won't listen. The captain's jaw tightened. Then we show them we will not be broken. The enemy ships fired first. Blasts of light streaked through space. The human ship shuddered, shields flaring. The crew moved quickly, returning fire. Dodging between beams, the battle shook the halls. Metal groaning under the stress, Leary clung to the chair, her glowing eyes wide with terror. This was it. The elders would not let the truth live. She thought it was over. Until she saw the captain's face, calm even in fire. The engineer shouted, They're trying to flank us. The pilot grinned fiercely. Not today. She twisted the controls. The ship spun sharply, sliding past the blasts. The human weapons struck back, disabling one patrol ship. For a moment, silence followed. Then a new voice filled the comms, deeper, heavier. Leary! Her breath caught. She knew that voice. Tears filled her eyes. Uncle? The voice grew harder. Why are you with them? Do you not know what they are? Leary's body shook. Uncle, they are not monsters. They gave me food, they protected me, they showed me kindness. A pause lingered. Then the voice thundered. Kindness is a mask. They will consume you. Come home and repent. Or I will end you with my own hands. Her heart broke. The crew watched her, silent. The captain placed a hand on her shoulder. Grounding her, her glowing eyes lifted, filled with tears but also fire. No. Uncle, you are the one wearing a mask. You are the one spreading lies. They are not monsters, they are friends. The comms went silent, the patrol ships hesitated. But their weapons still glowed. The uncle's voice returned, cold as steel. Then you leave me no choice. The captain stood tall. His voice carried through the comms. If you strike us, you prove her right. That fear is the only weapon you hold, but if you let us through, you may see what truth really looks like. The silence stretched. The ships hovered, waiting. The crew held their breath. Finally, the uncle's ship pulled back slightly, but his words were sharp. Come then if you dare, but you will not leave alive. The patrol ships surrounded them, guiding them toward the planet. Leary pressed her cloth to her chest. Her heart heavy, but her spirit stronger than before. For the first time she was not only afraid, she was ready. The planet loomed ahead, her home wrapped in clouds of dust and fading light. And somewhere on its surface, the elders waited, guardians of lies. The truth was coming, carried by a tiny alien and the humans she once thought were monsters. The ship descended through the dusty skies of Leary's homeworld. The air was thick, heavy and colored with a faint red haze. Leary pressed her glowing eyes to the viewport. Her chest tightened. It was the place of her birth. Yet it felt strange now, familiar and frightening all at once. The patrol ships flanked them, guiding them toward a large landing field. On the horizon stood tall spires, black and sharp. They pierced the sky like the teeth of some great beast. At the base of the spires, soldiers gathered in rows, weapons glowing. The captain stood at the front of the ship as the landing gear touched the ground. His voice was calm but steady. Stay close, crew. This is not a welcome. This is a warning. The ramp lowered with a hiss. Heat and dust swept inside. Leary clutched her cloth tightly. Her legs shook, but she stepped forward. She would not hide this time. At the center of the field stood her uncle. His armor gleamed dark, his eyes burning with command. Around him the elders stood, wrapped in heavy cloaks, their faces hidden, their voices sharp. "You bring humans here, child? You shame us, you betray us," Leary's voice cracked. But she spoke. "I saw the truth. They are not monsters. They are not devourers. They gave me food, they gave me kindness." The elders laughed. The sound harsh. "Kindness is their trap, foolish girl. They will consume you once your fear is gone." The humans stood behind her, silent, letting her speak. The captain's eyes remained steady on the crowd. Leary's uncle stepped forward, his voice booming. "Return to us, Leary. Repent for your mistake, or I will end you now." Her heart ached. She had once trusted him, once believed his stories. Now those stories felt like chains. Her small body trembled, but she raised her voice. "You lied to us, uncle. You and the elders. You said humans were monsters, but I saw families, I saw laughter, I saw children safe in their arms." The crowd of soldiers stirred uneasily. Some shifted, their eyes flicking between the elders and the humans. Doubt cracked the wall of fear. The captain finally stepped forward. His voice carried strong. "We came here not as enemies, but as truth-bearers. If we wished for war, your ships would already burn. If we wished for blood, this child would not be alive. Ask yourselves, what kind of monsters share food instead of teeth?" The silence deepened. Soldiers hesitated. Some lowered their weapons. The elders hissed, their cloaks rippling. "Do not listen. Fear them or be destroyed." Leary felt tears burn her eyes, but her voice rose higher. "No, it is you who destroy us. You feed us fear so we obey. You make us hide from the stars. You keep us weak while our rivers dry and our air fades." Her uncle's face hardened. His grip tightened on his weapon. He raised it high, pointing at her. "Enough! You are poisoned by them. You are no longer one of us." The soldiers froze, waiting for his command. But then a young soldier near the front spoke, his voice shaking. "If humans are monsters, why is the child alive? Why does she stand beside them, not inside their stomachs?" Murmurs rippled through the ranks. The question spread like fire. The elders hissed louder, desperate. "Silence him. Do not listen." The captain raised his hand, his voice cut through the chaos. "You do not need to believe us. Believe your own eyes. Look at the child. Did we devour her? Or did we protect her?" All eyes turned to Leary. Her glowing eyes shone with tears, but also with courage. She held out her tiny hands, empty, trembling. "I am alive because of them. They saved me. They gave me hope. Can monsters do this?" The soldiers wavered. Some dropped their weapons. The elders stepped back, their control slipping, their lies cracking under the weight of truth. Her uncle's face twisted in rage. "You will destroy us all with your foolishness," he roared. He lunged forward, weapon raised. But the captain stepped in front of Leary, calm and unyielding. His voice was low but powerful. "If you strike her, you prove everything she said. That you rule with fear, not truth." The uncle froze. His weapon shook. His soldiers stared at him, waiting. His authority cracked. Leary's voice rang out one last time, clear and strong. "I will not live in fear anymore, and neither should any of you." The field was silent, then slowly, very slowly, soldiers began to kneel. One after another, their weapons clattered to the ground. The elders hissed and retreated, their cloaks swirling, their power fading as the people turned away. Leary's uncle stood alone, weapon still in hand. His eyes burned with rage and shame, but in that moment, even he knew, the truth had broken free. Leary stood taller than ever before. For the first time, she did not feel tiny. She felt strong, she felt free. The red sun rose slowly over the spires of Leary's homeworld. Its light cut through the haze, spilling across the landing field where silence still lingered. Weapons lay scattered on the ground, soldiers stood unsure, and the elders had vanished into the shadows. Their control broken, their whispers fading like smoke in the wind. Leary stood in front of them all, her tiny frame trembling. Yet her glowing eyes burned with courage. She was no longer just a frightened child. She was the voice of truth. The humans stood behind her, steady, silent, letting her light shine first. Her uncle lowered his weapon at last, his shoulders heavy with defeat. His voice cracked. "What have you done, Leary?" "You have broken everything." Leary's lips quivered, but her voice rose clear. "No, uncle, I have broken nothing. I have only broken the chains of fear," the soldiers murmured, some nodding, some still uncertain. But none lifted their weapons again. The captain stepped forward, his voice firm but gentle. "The choice is yours now. Will you live in fear of lies or will you walk in truth? For a moment, no one moved. Then a young soldier stepped out of the line. He knelt before Leary, his weapon left on the ground. If she stands with humans, then so will I. Another soldier followed, then another until a ripple spread through the ranks. Dozens of voices spoke together. No more fear. No more lies. Leary's heart swelled. Tears pricked her glowing eyes. She looked back at the captain, and for the first time she smiled without fear. The humans were invited into the city. Past walls that had once been closed to all outsiders, families gathered in the streets, whispering in disbelief as they saw Leary walking with humans at her side. Children peeked from windows, elders shut their doors, but curiosity grew louder than caution. In the center square, Leary stood on a platform. Her voice carried across the crowd. All my life I was told humans were monsters. I believed it, I feared it. But when I was lost, it was humans who fed me, humans who protected me, humans who gave me hope. Gasps spread through the crowd. Some shook their heads, unable to believe, but others leaned closer. Drawn to her words, she raised her hands, small but steady. Look at me, do I look devoured? Do I look broken? No, I stand alive, I stand free, and so can you. The captain stepped beside her, but he let her speak. His eyes scanned the crowd, measuring their hearts. He knew this was not his battle, it was hers. An old woman stepped forward from the crowd, her face lined with years. Her voice was soft but carried strength. If the humans are truly monsters, then why is this child still alive? Why does she call them friends? The crowd rippled with whispers again. The lies were unraveling faster now. Leary's uncle stood at the edge, silent, his head bowed. His power gone, his weapon useless. He looked at her with something she had never seen in his eyes before. Not anger, not pride, but shame by nightfall. The people gathered again. This time there were no weapons, no patrol ships circling above. The soldiers who once obeyed the elders now stood unarmed. Speaking with the humans, asking questions, children ran to Leary, tugging at her cloth, their glowing eyes wide. Is it true, little one? Do they really not devour us? Leary knelt, smiling softly. They do not devour, they protect. They share. She broke a piece of bread and handed it to the children. Taste for yourselves. The children bit into it, their faces lighting up. Laughter bubbled in the square for the first time in years. The captain watched from the side. His arms crossed, his crew smiled quietly. They had faced battle, lies, and fear. But this was victory, not with fire or weapons, but with truth. Later that night, Leary sat on the steps of the platform. Staring at the stars above, her cloth lay folded beside her. She no longer needed to hide behind it. The captain sat down next to her, his voice low. You were brave today, braver than most grown warriors I've met. Her glowing eyes shimmered with tears. I was only afraid, but I spoke anyway, he nodded. That is what courage is. Little one, she looked at him, her lips curving into a small smile. I once thought humans were monsters, but now I know the truth. The captain raised an eyebrow. And what truth is that? Leary leaned against his arm, her voice soft but full of peace. Humans are not monsters. They are friends. The stars burned brighter above. A new dawn was coming for her people. And it began not with war but with bread, with kindness, and with the courage of a tiny alien who once whispered in fear, Please don't devour me. Now, she whispered something else, words filled with hope. Please, stay.